Do you want to know how to deal with teenage temper tantrums? Well, I have had experience in that area. My name's Nicholeen Peck, and I'm a previous foster parent of teens ages 12 to 18. I've also raised 4 of my own children, and in this episode, we're going to talk about teenage temper tantrums and how you can help them out in those hard times. In this video, I'm going to share a true story from my life on a BBC television show, and then I'm going to share with you 4 things that you can do to help conquer those teenage temper tantrums. But stay till the end because I promise you I'm saving the best for last. In 2009, my family was asked to be on a BBC documentary called The World's Strictest Parents. That's right, I am one of the world's strictest parents, I guess, but that's only because strict means a person who has their principles and their practice match each other. That means that the things I believe and the things I do fit together perfectly. Anyway, in this particular episode of The World's Strictest Parents, which ended up becoming their most popular episode that they ever had on the BBC because it was so calm, they brought 2 troubled teens to our home, both of them ages 17. And these 2 teenagers had tantrums, sometimes like they were 3 years old. There was one time where 17-year-old Hannah was stomping and screaming because she couldn't get her way on being able to wear an outfit that she wanted to wear. They did many things with their tantrums. They yelled, they ran away, they screamed, they tried to talk back, they tried to be defiant, they sulked. They did so many things. All of those behaviors are temper tantrums. Well, after 2 days of temper tantrums, these 2 17-year-old British teens, whom I love so much, decided to be calm. They decided that there wasn't any point in arguing and tantruming because it wasn't doing them any good. Now, how did they make that decision? They came to that conclusion because of the way that we structure our home. And that's what I want to share with you. There are 4 things that you can do to structure your home in a way where those teenage temper tantrums melt away. Number 1, teach them calmness. Do they really know what it means to be calm? Do they know how to have a calm face, voice, and body? Do they know that you won't talk to them about a certain problem until they are calm? The focus should always be on calmness. Telling yourself to be calm, really truly calm, meaning your heart's okay. You don't feel defiant at all. That type of calmness is a decision that you make in the prefrontal cortex of your brain. When you are feeling emotional, you can choose to stop being emotional and go to calmness instead of going more emotional and going to back brain. Do they know that they have that power? You might have to talk deliberately about calmness with them. You might have to explain how a person makes that change. One of the ways that you would tell them that they could make that change is by recognizing, oh, this is me feeling emotional right now. They might have to make a list of the cues that they feel when they are getting emotional so that they can stop themselves from being emotional and choose to go to front brain. It's even helpful to think, go to front brain. Then they can stop themselves and start embracing calmness. There are other things that we do to teach calmness. I'm going to talk about those more. Wouldn't it be nice if the children knew skills besides tantruming? That's right. Tantruming has become a habit or a skill with them. What if they had other skills so that they wouldn't resort back to those old habits called power struggling and defiance? Well, they can learn other skills. When I was a foster parent of troubled teens, even 17 and 18-year-olds were brought to my home, and I taught them 4 basic skills. They didn't know how to use these 4 basic skills on a regular basis. And when they did learn these 4 basic skills, it changed their lives. The 4 basic skills that I taught them were following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. When a person learns the skill sets to those 4 basic skills, that takes care of 99% of their behavioral problems. So I knew if I could teach them the skill set for how to accept a no answer or criticism, which is to look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree, disagree appropriately and then drop the subject, that person could learn how to conquer the majority of their problems. Those 4 basic skills, although they are not magical, really make a huge difference in a person choosing not to tantrum. Why would they have to tantrum and power struggle if they could disagree appropriately with me and get their way instead? The third tip is they have to know how you will correct them. And if they go completely out of control, they need to know how you'll handle that too. Because really, the tantrums are usually out of control behaviors. If you teach them ahead of time, when I need to correct you, I will use this script. I will use these exact words. Then they feel like there's nothing to battle against. Especially if you're consistent and you actually do follow through and use that exact script. And if they go completely out of control and you use an intensive teaching script, we call it the rule of 3. There's actually a video here on the channel that teaches about the rule of 3 and what it is, so I highly recommend looking into that. But if they know those words exactly, they've practiced them with you so they know how you're going to handle it, and then you consistently follow through, well, their tantrum will do nothing then, because you already have a structure in place to handle the tantrum, and it won't be affected by any more power struggling. So you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a structure for correcting those problems. You need to have skill sets, even if you have to read them word for word off of a card, which we do have cards that can help parents do that who have been trained. I promised you I would save the best for last. And here is the best of these 4 tips. Tip number 4 is the parent learns how to be calm. If you want to conquer teenage temper tantrums, you've got to conquer your own temper tantrums too. You have to choose to be calm. What does calmness look like for you? Calmness is more than just not talking or not getting angry. Calmness is truly being okay. Are you okay with the fact that that person is having a problem and that you need to help them? I hope that you can be. Are you okay with the fact that they made a mistake? I hope you can be. Calm parents don't take the actions of others personally. Instead, they just recognize this is what happened, and now I will help them get to this other place because this is what needs to be happening. But they don't try to control other people or make it so that other people don't have the opportunity to control themselves. Do you think you can be calm? Put your experiences with trying to be calm in the chat. And if I can help you, I'll answer some of those comments so that you can be on the road to calmness. I think that if you've liked this video, you're really going to enjoy my next video, which is how to teach emotional intelligence to children. Learning calmness, learning to stop the tantrums is all part of emotional intelligence. So click that link to the next video and get more help.